Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Knife Delights. Welcome to another Saturday chat. As always, we have a wonderful guest here to talk to this morning. We've got Gunslinger Cal, and I've been trying to get him on this show for quite a while, and it's always scheduling problems, either on my end or future guests, potential guests. So I'm so happy that we've finally been able to get the right time to sit down here and just have us a good chat this morning. So, Kalen, welcome to Knife Delights and welcome to Saturday Chat.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
So, how are things going for you?
Going really good right now. Getting my little knife making squared away and trying to perfect it. Which by the way, people need to know, custom knives will never be perfect. They are not.
No,
They are not made on a assembly line. So just before anybody starts buying my knives, I will make them as good as I can, but they'll never be perfect, unfortunately.
but that's what makes them unique.
Yes,
Each knife is unique, right?
yes, sir. Absolutely.
So, even though you use the same pattern on and make five of one single knife, one pattern, each of the five is going to have just a little bit difference to it, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, everyone will be unique, no doubt.
So, let's just step back just a minute. How did you get interested in knives to begin with? I mean, is this something from when you were growing up, or is this something recent? Or
It was definitely in my life when I was a kid. My father always carried knives, pocket knives, to be exact. Both of my grandfathers, they always carried pocket knives, and I was able to inherit, some of their knives and my father's knives.
oh,
Uh, he,
fantastic!
he just gives me his knives. He buys knives all over the place and gives them to me all the time. So I'm real thankful for him.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you took your interest in pocket knives, and we'll just be clear here. That is your interest is in the old vintage grandpa knives, as they some people call them. But
Yes.
that's your biggest interest is in the slip joints, right?
100%. Yeah.
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 Now, that doesn't mean you're going to sneeze at a fixed blade if you see a nice fixed blade, right?
Oh man, I like a good fixed blade if it twinkles to my eye.
Yeah, there you go. So you took your interest in slip joint knives and you took it a step further, and now you're making your own slip joint knives.
Yes, I have started to craft my own. I'm not quite finished the first one, but I'm on the cusp.
Wow. So
Uh,
you from start to finish? I mean, you cut the blades, stamped or cut out the blades, and
yeah, yeah. You ready to see it?
yeah, sure am.
All
You
right.
bet.
Um. So.
Let me put you on full screen here. Let me
Yeah.
get you up here.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Um. This is it. It's just a clip point, you know, gent knife.
Right.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
so I've got I'm a little crude on my stamping so far, and shame on my camera for not picking that up. But it's going to be CKC on the show side, which is going to be Camp Knife Cutlery, and Camp is my last name. So that will be that. And on this side, I was using 1095 steel, so that
Right.
will be that's the stamp there, and I got that one a little bit straighter. So. Um, This is my first one, so I'm not too
That's
worried about the stamp. I was more worried about the grind, getting it right, and uh, the heat treat was a major part, getting that right, and the tempering, getting it back down to the soft, you know, because once you heat treat a knife, it's extremely hard, and
sure.
you don't want to use it while it's just heat treated. So you got to temper it back down, and with just a lower
So
temperature.
that's
So
a that's a nice swooping clip you have on that blade too.
Oh, I
Yep.
appreciate that. And it's got the swedge on both sides.
Yep.
Um, it's got the nickel silver bolster at the top.
Okay.
Uh, I did the bear head on the bottom,
Sure.
and she has a lanyard hole. that's part of the back spring there.
Nice.
And it has a jig bone handle. And all I did was shape it to the to the shape of the knife or whatever.
So does the bone come jigged already? Is that what you're saying? And you cut them out, or
Sometimes, oh Lord, here it is right here. I have some that's ready to be jigged and stuff. This is some red bone here,
oh, okay.
and
I see.
yeah. So what you do next is you would do the jigging on it,
Okay.
and then if you wanted to get the black in there, I just like to burn it. I think
Sure.
that's the easiest way. So to get the correct black, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's what they might have done back in the day. Anyways,
Sure.
kind of what it looks like on some of the older knives.
So all the viewers of Knife Delights get a first peek at that first knife of yours.
Yeah, they do.
That is special.
Absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
are you going to be doing this full time, or is this a part-time gig, or what?
For now,
what are do you have any plan? What are your plans? I guess I should ask.
For now, my life is allowing it to be full time. So as soon as I get this one finished and I'm happy with it, I intend to order a bit more material and get a little run going, a little series or something.
Okay.
And, so every time I make one, I make 3 liners instead of just the 2. So I'll always
Sure.
have the pattern to make another one.
Right.
So I have the pattern right here. This was the original pattern here.
Okay.
And
so I'm assuming it takes an awful lot of equipment to get started.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, let me just start from where my perspective is. I've always been interested in maybe trying to do a fixed blade knife,
Yeah.
But getting the blade cut out, and then you've got to have the proper, well, not only the expertise, but you've got to know how to do the tempering on the steel, like you said.
Yes.
And I think that is an art. Would you agree to that? It's an art. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read how to do it in a book or watch a video how to do it, but unless you're actually doing it,
yes.
Because you got to look at the color, and some of the old timers say there's a certain smell to the steel that they hear have that smell, and it's like this is it,
Yeah. I recall mentioning the smell when we were heat treating it and tempering it, and he said, "Yeah, take note of that." So you're exactly right on that.
So even with a fixed blade, and then of course cutting out your handle material, making sure for your rivets or screws or however you're going to attach the handles, you got to have precise equipment to do precise drilling and all of that. So I'm looking at just a fixed blade and all it would take to get one of those done properly. But you've stepped up a notch and jumped right into with the slip joints. So there's a whole lot more involved with a slip joint than a fixed blade, right?
Yeah, there's the moving parts is what makes it, the more complicated. It's just extra steps. That's all it is.
Sure.
But I definitely intend to try my hand at the fixed blade. I'm not gonna forge it out or anything. I'm just gonna cut out a piece of steel. I have some hey, there you are. Good to see you again. Yeah. But I have some old horseshoeing files.
Right.
And my uncle is a horseshoer, and he's been handing me some old files that he has, and I intend to keep the profile on the side of the file and make the knife out of that. And I've seen a handful of them on the internet. I know they're all over the place out there, but it really caught my eye, and it's gonna be fun to make one like that.
Well, that's how Hoyt Buck got his start.
The fixed blade?
Fixed blade, yeah. Hoyt Buck, they didn't actually, do like factory production, I don't think, until like into the 50s or so. But yeah, he took old files and tempered them and banged them out. Yep. So
I sure didn't know that.
yeah. So and I understand, and just the reading I've done, the newer files that you buy these days aren't near as good as, these files from 50, 60, 70 years ago.
Yeah, I agree there. Steel has changed.
It sure has. It sure has. Well, that's fantastic. I can't wait to see you, get into production mode, if you will. I'm sure you're still learning and honing your craft.
100%.
I've got a lot of respect for that.
I don't think I'll ever stop learning.
No. And, I've often said, guys like J.O. Ventures and Georgia Adventurer with their leather work, or North Star Knife Reviews making the handles for the fixed blade knives. And actually, Sarah from SD Leatherwork now, Big J's wife,
Oh, yeah.
I just admire that, people that can see it in their head and then do it. And because I don't have that kind of talent.
Can I give one little shout out?
Oh, you can give as many shout outs as you want.
Oh, yeah. I got some, where we at? Randy over at Randy's WSG sent me these clips, and I've been putting them to use. I'll say that. So.
Well, yeah, see, and that's what's great about this community is, Randy's been watching Georgia Adventurer and J.O. Ventures and
learning up.
Gee, I'm going to give it a try. And then, like I said, Sarah, well, I'm going to give it a try. And they're putting out fantastic work.
Yeah.
Just fantastic work.
It's awesome to see people getting involved in their passion.
Yeah.
Instead of just collecting, you know what I mean? Like actually,
sure.
Taking part in the making of stuff. It's really cool to see that.
Yep. I guess the closest I've gotten is I've taken a couple old slip joints apart and then tried repinning them.
Oh,
and I'll just say I need a lot of practice.
Hey, I've already made some boo-boos myself, taking some knives apart, so I can't judge anybody on that.
Yeah, that pinning is an art in and of itself, isn't it?
I didn't get that far. I whacked the I separate it with a knife, stainless steel hardened knife, and I'll just take it to the joint between the back spring and the liner.
Yeah.
Slice right through the pin, and it'll just pop apart. It's minimal damage that way.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I was taking apart a sod buster, just like this one right here.
Okay, let me bring you up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a junior, and so I was separating it here on the liner and the spring, and the only thing I was whacking was the back of the knife I was using to separate it with, and I had it on a rubber mat, so all the impact was going through the rubber. You know what I mean? The heat treat, about midway in the blade, failed, and it just solid split right down the middle of the blade, about right there.
Huh.
And I mean, just a solid straight line. And so not only do I get to rehandle, because I was wanting to rehandle it, it came in the package cracked.
Right.
So I was like, this will be the perfect candidate to me start rehandling knives, get my practice in. And sure enough, I broke it, so I get to make a new blade for it as well.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Want to give a shout out to my wife. She just went to the store and got me a Red Bull and came in silent as a mouse.
Oh, well.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Yeah. Where would we be without our wives, right?
Oh, man. Lost.
You got that right. Oh, man. I'm going to do a little promo for myself here real quick.
Absolutely.
Of course, this is pre-recorded. It'll be airing Saturday morning. What's today? Today's the 3rd, isn't it? Yeah, Friday, November 3rd. So Saturday, November 4th. Of course, the Saturday chat will be on Saturday morning. I do have a video scheduled for release at, I think, 4 p.m. Central Time, Saturday, November 3rd. And it's a review of this Little bit. Let me bring myself up on the big screen here real quick.
I still got to squint.
Yeah, that's all right. This is an original buck knife version #1 made by Schrade when Buck had Schrade contracted to make their knives. And Buck did not get into the slip joint knife business until 1967. And this very first one was made by Schrade. And it's, watch my video. I'm just going to tease it here just a little bit, and you'll find out why it's a special knife. I mean, the 301 Stockman pattern was the first pattern Buck came out with, and this is from the very, very, very beginning of their start on their slip joint knives. So this was an exciting addition to my collection.
Would you consider it a grail?
Yes, actually, I say that in my video. For a slip joint knife, it's a grail knife. It absolutely is.
Oh, that's exciting. Sorry to steal the thunder there.
No stealing thunder. So I also have to say, while I think about it, and I set them out right here. I want to thank you again for these 2 wonderful buck knives that you sent me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you like them.
They are just gorgeous. These are from 2006. I did do a video on these, but thanks again, Kalen. I mean, wow.
Hey,
I appreciate you thinking of me like that.
My pleasure. Like I said, I know we chatted a bit before on them. When I got them, I liked them. That's why I got them. I graduated in 2006, so I was like, oh yeah, I definitely like those. They're buck knives. They're a limited edition. So I grabbed them, and but then once I started watching your channel and getting filled in on who's the real Buckmaster, I knew where they belonged. So it only made sense in my head.
I don't know if I'm the real Buckmaster or not. I'll admit I've got quite a few of them, but I know there's a lot of people out there that, I always call my collection a starter kit, because there's some guys out there with some fantastic collections.
Oh man, hats off to all the people with the massive collections.
Oh yeah. I just did a thankful Thursday for Mike Curtis. I mean, there's a man that's been collecting for 40 years. I mean, I imagine if I saw his case knife collection, I'd just be drooling.
You might not get through it in one day.
You probably wouldn't. So you're kind of a case man now, aren't you?
It's grown on me. I'll say that. It's grown on me.
So what do you find interesting about case that you don't find in the other knives?
It's not that. It's just it's always been real prevalent in my life. Like I said, my dad, he mainly carried a case knife.
Oh, okay. Sure.
My grandfather also, I'd always go over to his house and my grandparents' house, and he had on his dresser a good sized, showcase. I would say probably 1 foot by 2 foot, good size one. And he had that thing full of knives. And so every time I was over there, me and my cousins, the boys, we'd always just be, drooling all over it, just like you said. And that's where the case knife got started.
Yep. Now, before we go any further, I need to let everybody know you've been a guest on a live show for the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
RJ's Lives. How do you like that? How do you like being on with RJ? It's
fantastic. I love it. It's been a blessing and a blast all at the same time. Look forward to it every week. And I can't say enough nice things about that show. We
have a lot of fun, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely went above and beyond, asking me the first time and then continuing to have me back. It's, like I said, been a blessing.
So RJ's Live is 12:30 Central, 10:30 Pacific every Sunday. And then before I forget, we got Thrifty Kniffy and Slip Joint Sawyer. They have their live show Sunday morning at 10:30 Central. And then you have an even bigger announcement, because this Sunday after RJ, You're
going to
doing
be
another
on.
show, aren't you? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I'm going to be on Big J's and Baxter's Blades live chat on Sunday evening.
Boston Blades.
What'd I say?
You said Baxter.
Oh goodness, I
Boston.
apologize. Boston Blades, not Baxter's Blades. I guess I'm getting old enough where I'm going to have behind the camera a list of things that talking points and stuff.
I've done that too. I had Ray from North Star Knife Reviews and John from JO Ventures on one night. I kept calling Ray John and kept calling John Ray. So you know what? It happens. So,
I apologize. Yeah. Please forgive me, sir.
It's okay. So yeah, you get to do the happy hour live chat. I'll tell you what, I've had the privilege of being on there a couple of times, and there are a couple of great guys too, and I think you're really going to enjoy that.
Oh yeah, I've watched it numerous times, and it's it's an all day thing. Sunday, it's some people have their football and some people have whatever they do on Sunday, but I always look forward to all the live knife shows.
Oh yeah, if you're into knives, if you're a knife enthusiast, Sunday is your day. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. And Saturday, don't forget, come check us out right here.
That's right, Saturday chats. Yep. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so you've got that original. We'll get back to your knife making here a little bit, if it's okay.
Yeah.
So you've got that one pattern. Do you have any other patterns in mind, or do you know what the next pattern you might try?
Yeah, I've I'm if you know, but if you don't know, I'm part of the Discord channel, the Slip Joint Sanitarium that Slippy puts on, and so I've mentioned on there a few times that I have a few patterns in mind. I do want to make the Sunfish.
Oh, sure.
And I want to make something like that. Probably the Whittler pattern is what I'm going to start out.
Oh, those are both very classic, very traditional patterns.
Yeah.
I like the Sunfish. I only have one of them, but what a terrific pattern.
Yeah, I saw one over, I guess it was Wednesday at the flea market, and kind of kicking myself for not picking it up. But maybe it'll be there next week. So
I've got one here, I think, kind of handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. This is a marble Sunfish.
Oh yeah, love to see that.
So it's a big knife. I mean, it fills your pocket.
Yes, that is.
Just look at the blade on that thing.
Man, you can spread some butter with that.
You sure can. Now, it's my understanding this one has half stop. It's got the natural bone.
Yes.
And got the
it
fancy.
Looks like it's got plenty of pins in it. That thing ain't coming apart.
No, it's got 5 pins.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It's also it should have two more in the bolsters on each end. One on each end. They polish it so good that you won't be able to see it on the bolster. But
I think on this one the bolsters and liners are integrated. So I think what you're seeing here is the pin for the back spring.
Yes.
And these other 4 pins are just to pin the covers on, I think.
Right. No, I'm saying the metal bolsters on the ends.
Yeah.
There's one pin in each end as well.
Right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So
but
that's 12 pins.
What's that?
I said that's 12 pins. That's
a lot of pinning to do, isn't it?
It is.
That'll wear your arm out. But I guess that pattern was very popular with like carpenters and folks in the trade, back around the turn of the last century.
Yes.
Because they used a lot of rope and stuff as they were doing construction. They didn't have all the hydraulic lifts and stuff, so they run things up with rope and pulley and block and tackle, and so they were always working with ropes and course, this is a good rope cutting blade. And so, but yeah, it's definitely a worker's knife.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks capable enough for sure.
Yep, heavy duty.
I do have a few other patterns. This actually isn't the first pattern that I started.
Okay.
This is a second pattern, and I didn't really have a reason to switch, but the first knife I made it out of just some really, really cheap steel. It was just a practice run, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was just to get the shape down, and here's the back spring for it. So all I got to do is take this steel. I have some 1095 here.
Okay.
And, trace out all this stuff, back spring and blade, and here's the original knife that I made, and I got both liners.
Right.
So yeah, I just got to remake it and finish it out. So I'm looking forward to do that one as well. Probably going to do it the same as
what? Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, you're fine. I was just saying I'm probably going to keep it, bolster at the top, bare head at the bottom for now, because that's what I like.
Yeah.
More prone to damage, but it's a lot prettier in my opinion.
It is. It really is. So what drew you to the Whittler pattern?
Oh man, that's my dad gave me a Whittler a long time ago, and I've always loved it. So it's always been in my mind.
So for the folks that aren't familiar with a Whittler, what is kind of unique about a Whittler pattern?
Let me grab one.
Okay.
I have one right here. Don't worry.
I'm putting you on the spot.
That's okay. That's why we're here. And pardon me. Oh gosh. Just gotta grab these.
Yep. That's all right. We're amongst friends.
Oh goodness. Really what makes the difference in the Whittler and a Stockman, them each having 3 blades, is we'll use the one that Terry sent me, for example, over at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff.
Right. Another great channel.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Here's a HK7B made by J.A. Hinkles. So you got your main clip point blade
right
on the show side there, and instead of having your secondary blade alongside your first blade, you have the secondary and the third blade on the opposite end. And generally they are a pen knife and a coping blade, or 2 pen knives generally.
Right.
And I've even seen Whittlers with the main blade being sheep's foot and Warncliffs. So
right. So typically, of course, any manufacturer can make a knife and call it whatever they want. But one of the main features is, like you just said, the main blade comes out opposite of the 2 smaller blades. And there's usually like 2 springs in there, and the main blade shares both of those at the same time, which makes it strong. And then the 2 smaller blades, because it's kind of a split yes. There, they each ride on a single.
Yes, you can see the secondary blade riding on the single spring there.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then again, and to me, a Whittler's got to have a coping blade on it. That's what I consider, a Whittler, because you're using that coping blade for whittling to get into tight spaces and making precise cuts. Yeah, you can get it making real tight cuts on it. Yeah. But I think I have a case half Whittler, and it's got the pen blade instead of a coping.
Yeah. I have the same thing actually. I was telling Tom earlier that I am going through the process of preserving all of my knives, so this one will be getting cleaned again. My fingerprints are all over it.
Yeah, that happens.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you do a live show. and you're digging out, and because somebody wants to see it, and you're digging through, and now you got fingerprints on everything. You got to go back and wipe them all off because, you know, the oil and stuff from your hands.
Yes.
If you leave it on brass and or you know, the stainless steel, even, it can eventually start to rust, and it'll be permanent fingerprints if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So you do have to keep them wiped off. If
Yep.
you're if you're keeping them as a collectible type thing. Now
Yeah.
your work knife, who cares? It's going to get scratched and tore up anyway, but that's why it's a work knife.
Absolutely. You gotta make that that determination in your head before you decide what you're gonna do with the knife.
Right.
I definitely have to do that.
Yeah.
Even I'll get some knives that were users, and I'm like, I don't want to use this. This needs to be put up. It got its use, but she deserves to be a safe queen at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's just like with this, you know, this buck that was made, you know, this very early buck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to carry it. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to snap the blade on it, or I don't want to, you know.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of knives to carry every day.
You know. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to risk something happening to. I consider this a historic piece. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially at this time and date.
Yeah. So how long have you had your YouTube channel now?
I believe the last time I checked, it was started towards the end of August.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And how many subscribers are you at? I forgot to look. I should have looked.
Oh boy, I forgot to look too, but I believe I was around 265 the last time I looked, which was yesterday. So
okay, that sounds great.
I know I've been I need to make a little announcement here. I've been real behind on getting my knives shipped out. I still need to. I plan on doing it tomorrow morning. I'm shipping out Zen's knife that he won on RJ's live. Gosh, has it been 2 weeks now ago? Life's been throwing some hardballs at me, so finally getting those in the mail tomorrow, along with a few other knives. People know who they are, so
yeah.
Just wanted to say that. Sorry, Zen.
Are you trying to say life interrupts your YouTube channel sometimes?
Oh man. Oh man. It's okay. You know, it needs to every once in a while. You don't want to get too hooked on YouTube, you know.
No.
I gotta keep it
you gotta keep it real, as they say.
Yeah. Keep the ratio.
Keep it in perspective.
Everybody happy, basically.
Because it can take over your life if you're not careful.
Very easily. I've been there already, so
yeah.
Just taking it easy this time. So
there you go.
That.
So for a fixed blade knife, do you have any now on RJ's lives we were looking at some of those bird and trout knives.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Does that kind of wet your whistle as maybe something you might want to try to make?
Yeah, I could definitely try something like that. I mean, it's definitely fits the bill, something I would like. So
yeah, they're small and it wouldn't take a lot of steel, and might be a good pattern to practice on or start on maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I have, the bigger fixed blades and stuff like that,
but
they really don't call out to me. Sorry if I offend anybody, but the smaller ones, as Terry would say, the 6.5. Oh, sorry. Yep. I showed the wrong side there, the broken side.
Let me get that up there.
Oh, thanks.
I think you had a little story behind this knife, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I bought this knife at a Fort Worth stock show, and just really caught my eye. The Damascus and the smooth white bone. It's kind of a cream, but like a dunderhead. I dropped it on the concrete, and this is the issue you have with bone. It's very brittle.
Yes.
People, if you start to buy my knives or anything like that, or if you receive, a knife that's bone like this, bare ended, it's very, very prone to damage. So
Yep.
just be. It's not as durable as stag, and it's definitely not as durable as synthetics or wood or anything like that.
Right.
She's delicate, not as delicate as pearl though.
Oh, I can't even imagine trying to work with that.
Yeah, I haven't tried. Probably gonna hone my craft a bit more before I try some precious materials like that.
Yeah. And now I've got a couple marbles with ram horn,
Oh yeah,
and they're just gorgeous. But I think that's a tough material to work with.
yeah, I could see that it being so rigid and
It's rigid, and how do I want to say it? It's like it's in layers. It's like
mhm.
I don't know how to even describe it. It's not
Yeah,
like smooth, solid like actual bone,
right.
or that. It's more rough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
Definitely
would think
rougher.
it'd be hard to pin that without cracking it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The only thing is, if you get um your holes drilled right, and everything lined up straight, the pressure from you peening it will go where it's supposed to, and
Mm,
that's usually where the issue comes is when like the holes aren't lined up straight when you drill, and you go to peen it, and it puts pressure on that bone where it's not supposed to be putting it, and
right.
you'll get cracking real fast like that. I've already been warned.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So do you have a mentor down there
Absolutely.
in your area that's giving you some tips or?
Yeah, absolutely. My gosh, I feel ashamed right now. His name is Tank, and his company is T Bar K, and his YouTube channel is Mega Tank. And I know there's some numbers on the end there, but I'm pretty sure you can find it just by typing in Mega Tank. And
Mega tank? Okay.
yes, and um, he has a handful of his crafting videos. He makes switchblades. He makes very, very high end custom stuff. Very, very impressive. He takes the case copper locks.
Uh-huh.
And he turns those into switchblades. The button push, so the shield is the button.
Huh.
It's extremely impressive. If you ever get a chance to go check that out, absolutely worth the time.
I will do that. I'll try to put something down in the description.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
I can find his channel and put a link to his channel so that
If you can't, when we get off here, I'll shoot you a text message with his channel. So
okay, great. Yeah. Because that's fascinating. It's
he's a great guy too, man. He's taken me under his wing and been more than generous. Helped me out with a lot of my equipment, and just mega thanks to him. Just
well, I got just a little taste of the custom knife world when Ray from North Star, him and I got to meet at a custom knife maker show up in the Twin Cities,
oh yeah,
Minneapolis here just a month or so ago,
I caught
and
that.
we both did videos on the different knife makers that we interviewed. Uh, the passion, just the passion, is I think one of the first ones that I interviewed. He was a young man, and of course, at my age, everyone's a young man. But now he was like a mechanical engineer, and
Yes.
uh, he loved cooking, and he liked kitchen knives and this and that. And he thought, well, maybe I can make some kitchen knives myself. So he just delved into it, and of course, it's evolved around now doing some like hunting knives, style knives, and that.
Yep.
There was another young man there, and what was it? He would make the knife out, but a 6-year-old daughter would help him pick out the handle material to put on the knife.
Oh, that
So,
makes it real.
so there's a father and a daughter working
Yeah.
together on a knife, and
I can only
yeah,
dream I get to do that kind of thing with my daughter. So
it just the passion is just overwhelming, and you can tell they're proud of their product as you're standing there talking with them. They've got a lot of pride in their work.
yes, absolutely.
So my hat's off to all of you custom knife makers.
This this is just a Walmart Bowie knife, and it's it used to say Winchester there. You can still kind of see it.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yep.
I've tried to polish it off. I'll be honest.
Yep. Yeah.
But he actually put this handle on here for me about 12 years ago, and this was a mule deer antler that my great granddad shot however long ago, and I ended up with both of the horns, and yeah, he put that on there for me, and it is just it's wonderful.
It is.
He also put me a little edge there on the top.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so it's an official Bowie knife.
Yeah.
And I'm in Texas, everybody. It's okay. I can have this.
That's right. That's right. One of the joys of living in Texas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you can carry that down the street, can't you?
You can carry you can carry a sword on your back in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm here in Iowa, and you can't conceal anything over 5 inches.
Yeah, yeah.
So you couldn't have a big old Bowie knife concealed.
Right.
But you can wear it anywhere you want, basically.
Yeah. I don't have any interest in carrying that big enough.
I don't either. I don't have it up here with me, and I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe I'll get it for RJ's live, but I have a big Filipino bolo knife.
Oh yeah.
About yay long.
Yes.
And got that when I was stationed over in the Philippines, and boy, is that a wonderful knife. It makes an excellent camp knife.
I bet. Do you want to see a few more patterns?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I was given this I don't know exactly what to call it. Maybe you can help me figure it out. It's kind of a trapper style, but it's a bit more exaggerated here on the up swoop. Not quite the saddle horn design. And
I was just going to say, is it a saddle horn? But
more like maybe it was a slimline trapper or something. It's an old case knife pattern.
Oh, okay.
That I get to remake eventually, and I have some liners out of the old. I think it was 2 different trappers, but yeah, it definitely was, because I mean one of them's way older and one of them has a different sized pivot hole.
Sure.
But this is an old case knife trapper that I can remake.
Yep.
And won't have case blades on it or anything, but it'll be my knife,
Yeah.
And what else do I have here? I have the original. It's kind of a canoe knife.
Yeah.
And I do have. I'm really excited about remaking these here. I have the pattern for a copper lock.
Oh,
and
if you can start making some full-size copper locks,
yeah,
I'll tell you what, I think you'll sell them. That's one complaint I keep hearing all over, is you can't get the full-size copper locks.
And it's finding a needle, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
In a haystack.
Yep.
I have an even cooler one. I have a cigar pattern that I'm going to remake. I don't know what the brand was, but
oh, very nice.
It's a very old knife.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, I can't wait to put this thing back together.
Sure.
Make something out of that.
Did you have the blades for that?
No, I just
the frames.
What you see here is what I received.
Okay.
The tank, he gave me all this stuff, just to mess around with whenever I'm ready. So
it looked like when I see those and they're slim like that, it seems to me I would picture like 2 pen blades in it, one longer than the other.
Yeah. Or
like
even
a pen knife.
Or even the whittler,
Or a whittler, yeah.
Yep.
So absolutely.
Wrong side. And I
Yeah.
love this shield right here.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
Maybe like I know a handful of companies use that shield, so there's no telling
Sure.
what
Yeah.
this does.
Yep.
Beautiful bone though.
It is. It is.
Um, and I think that's all the patterns I have. I have a spade blade.
All right. Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, that's oh, I got a bit more material here. Here's some pins.
Sure.
Where am I going? Where am I at? There we are.
There you go.
Yeah.
So where do you get your pinning material?
I have started ordering from Jantz,
Okay.
Jantz.
Right.
They're a knife supply store, and they got everything from sanding belts, drill bits, metal stock, round stock, everything for knife making.
Yeah, because doing my practice, pinning, I've just been using some old nails, like an old brass nail or something like that, and cutting them off and just trying to do something like that. But I actually need to get some actual pinning material. I think it'd be easier.
Yeah, I'll send you a link for sure.
Okay, great.
It's all online, and
I think I visited their website once before here a while back.
They're pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have I did just acquire these here for some handle material that I plan to cut down and make some. I can get a couple of cuts out of it there on the.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that mule deer?
That is I think that one's a whitetail.
Whitetail. I was going to say it looks a little big for mule deer. I was kind of shocked when I was down in Texas and I saw the mule deer. I'm like,
oh, they're tiny.
Those tiny little things. Yeah.
They're not what y'all got up there.
I have to be careful. Just a little sidetrack here with deer. Yeah, we got some big whitetails up here in Iowa.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When I was growing up, I was actually talking about this with my mom tonight. It used to be really something to see a deer. I mean, I remember growing up, you just didn't see them.
Right.
And now they are just thick as, when I drive home at night.
Yeah.
Like last night, I had 2 or 3 deer. 2 of them were just on the shoulder of the road, and they walked down into the ditch away. But I had one, jump out and run across. I have to be careful because at least 2 or 3 times a week, I got a deer jump up out of the ditch and into the roadway in front of me.
Yeah.
So,
that time of year as well.
Well, yeah, because the corn is out. The farmers have gotten all the corn out. Plus the rut is starting. So them stags, they got all them hormones boiling in them.
Absolutely.
So they're wound up tight, just everywhere. But
and they definitely love to move in the cold weather.
Oh, they do, and yeah, they get big. I mean, they'll total a car. If you hit them. Yeah.
Speaking on the population just booming now. You've got all of the. We'll get back to knives, folks. I promise.
That's all right.
You have everybody breeding the deer now, and for whatever reason they're breeding it for, but a lot more deer are being populated. I feel like that. Yeah. I used to hunt here in Texas on a gigantic. I think it's one of the biggest ranches here in Texas. It's called the Wyo Ranch.
Okay.
It's down in South Texas, but I want to say for the past 100 years, they've imported every exotic animal you can think of that you can hunt over in Africa, over in Europe. And over those 100 years, most of those animals escaped at one point in time, and some of them never made it back. So in that whole area down there, it's covered with exotic animals down there that there's no season on. And they're all over the place. That they didn't used to be there, and so they've had a chance to take hold, and now they're everywhere. And like I said, there's no season. You can just shoot them anytime you want. But
Huh.
there's that many of them down there that it doesn't matter. Like it just there's a lot of deer here in Texas, and I'm
Yeah.
talking of
Yeah.
every kind now, just because of that reason.
Yep.
I want to say
Well, it's
it
they've
was
the
70.
population has exploded up here because you just don't have many farmers. Up here, the land is sectioned off. A section of land is 1 square mile,
Yeah,
and there was a gravel road all the way around, and you'd have maybe 4, possibly even 5 farmsteads on one section of land because to farm 80 acres was a huge farm when you were farming with horses,
yeah,
But now you can go 2 to 3 miles and not see a farmhouse,
right.
because now they can farm 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 acres, all automatic,
Technology.
almost automated now. So
Yeah,
I mean that's cleared up, and it's just made so much room for the deer, and yeah, they're just everywhere,
yeah,
just everywhere.
yeah. Back to nice.
Back to knives, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for pulling me back. I'm supposed to be the one keeping us on track, but
Oh, so it's all right. I'm sure I'll have my moments of drifting off and stuff. So
well, no, I mean the show's called Saturday Chat because we're just having a chat. Yeah, we focus on knives, but we can talk about other things too. So
it's great.
it's all good.
I'm having a blast.
Yeah, me too. So, we are coming up close to an hour. We have a few minutes left here. So
Okay.
let's focus on your channel and let's talk about some of the upcoming projects you might have, or the direction you think your channel might be going, or
Yeah.
just anything like that.
I do have a couple of projects. I know I will be getting a traveling knife soon. I will announce that here later, probably this week. And
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know exactly when I'm getting it. I just know that I'm in line for it, and so that's exciting. Um, I want to take my channel, obviously in the direction of knife making,
Mm-hmm.
and so I've already kind of hinted at that a little bit. But yeah, that's where it's going, and
Good, good.
I'm still gonna do, my knife collecting and stuff like that, and I'll always have a fighting rooster or a case knife to show off, something I find at the flea market. But
Sure.
that's always been my passion, so I'm still gonna continue that, and just supplement the knife making into it.
This is what's so wonderful about the knife community is there's room for everybody.
Oh
Everybody has their little thing that they kind of focus on, and
yeah,
it just all blends together, and that's what makes it so fun.
yeah,
I would love to see more of your knife making process and the
yeah.
things
I
you have to
know.
go through.
I need to get better at turning the camera on while I'm out there in the shop.
Well,
And,
I mean that what that's a whole skill in and of itself. I have a history channel also called History Delights.
yes,
My
sir.
friend Kevin and I, and there's so much difference between recording like you and I are doing here, or down in the basement with the tripod and everything's controlled and the lighting's
Mhm.
controlled. It's totally different when you get outdoors. You got to worry about the wind. You got to worry about the sunlight. You got to worry about background noise. It's a whole different ball game just learning how to record outside of a studio per se.
Yes, I agree with
So,
that.
you're going to have those challenges of, okay, I got the camera focused and everything, and yeah, I'm in the frame, but you go back and watch it later, and it's like, well, I didn't have the lighting just right. Nobody can see what I was doing, type thing.
Or some kind of
So,
sound malfunction.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that'll be a challenge of its own, but I'm sure I have all the faith and confidence you'll overcome that.
Did you catch the inside joke I made?
No, I didn't. That went over my head.
The sound problem.
Oh, the sound problem. Oh, yeah, yeah. When we were trying to get ready to record this, he couldn't hear me. We didn't know what was going on. So,
We
and
just
no, I
restarted
wasn't muted.
everything.
I checked, Jerome. I wasn't muted.
Not
I
human error.
What's that?
Not user error.
Not
Definitely
user
technical
error.
difficulty.
There was a program problem there somewhere. So we sent out a link and we got connected. It's all working now. But yeah, I have a habit on RJ's live. I'll mute out because there's some background noise going on, and then I'll jump in to talk and forget to unmute myself. So they're always giving me a hard time about that.
Well, they'll be proud of you this time for not muting yourself, not one time.
I didn't. I even pulled up big screen, dual screen. So I'm getting better.
Oh, you're just fine. You're leagues beyond me. I'm telling you, I'm lucky to be able to edit as little as I do.
Right.
It's pretty difficult, not ever doing it and then jumping into it the way I
Sure.
jumped into it. Usually people figure out what they're doing before they start doing it, and I did not take that approach with this.
I didn't either. And actually, my advice has always been, if you want to start a YouTube channel or something like that, the best way to learn is just to jump in, because each and every one of us
Learn as you go.
You learn as you now. There are some out there that have prior experience on making videos and have that voice and they have everything right. But the overwhelming majority of those of us with YouTube channels just jumped in and started doing them. I look back at my early work, some of my first videos, and I'm just like, ooh, yuck,
Me and my wife still go back and we watch my first video for when we need a good laugh.
Yep. So you get better, and nobody's been overly critical. I do like it when someone gives me some constructive criticism of, hey Tom, can you do this, or your lighting wasn't quite right there. I couldn't quite see this or that, and I don't mind constructive criticism. There's never been anything super negative sent my way. So I think overall we have one of the nicest communities there is on YouTube. Everyone just seems to get along and cooperate and help each other out.
I have yet to see any kind of quarrel. I know people disagree on steels and patterns and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they're still talking to each other.
What's better, a Ford or a Chevy? What's better, a Chevy or a Dodge? I mean,
And
people can argue over that stuff over and over and over. So,
well, the banter is what makes it fun.
It is. It is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, you want to show us a few more knives before we get off here?
Well, we've got just a quick minute here. If you want to show one or two, we'll get them in there.
I picked up one. My buddy picked me up a knife today. What did I do with it? I know it's right here. It's a pretty special one. Yep, here we go.
Oh, what do we got?
A little bit of new old stock.
Oh, nice. I've not seen that case of that packaging before.
So this is something I got it today. I've got some research to do. I know this is an offshoot of Case. Obviously it's got the Case emblem there, but the Case brothers, I thought it's pretty cool. I know everybody likes to see that price tag.
Oh yeah,
this was 2004.
Yeah.
This one is, but it has the names: John, William Russell, Gene, and Andrew.
Nice.
But yeah, in with the case, the thing, and let's actually look at the knife. A little gun stock.
Oh, nice.
In chestnut bone.
Yes.
And 2004. It's got the easy open on this side.
That's what I was wondering. I thought that's what I saw.
But the main blade is a spear point with that awesome swedge, and it has Case Brothers there on the blade.
Yep.
It says Case Bros Cutlery Co. And then it has five X's and one dot.
Okay.
And it's 2004. But then the secondary blade is a little penknife.
Yeah.
But it has, so the penknife, it has the same stamping as you would see on any case knife. USA 6215 SS.
Yeah.
In the same, So I know maybe made in the same factory, maybe not, maybe down the road at a different case factory. I don't know. I need to do my research. So, but I know the gun stock pattern is really sought after. So thought I would showcase
You
that.
know, I've
My
got a
first one.
case. I got a case doctor's knife that looks almost like that.
Oh wow.
Has a long, thin pen blade.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool knife.
I have yet to pick up a doctor's knife.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, thought I would show a knife. I know we're at an hour, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I do try to keep them at an hour, but that doesn't mean we can't have another hour here in the near future and have you back on. It's been very enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
Folks, if you haven't subscribed to Gunslinger Cal, I'll leave a link to his channel down here in the description. Head on over there. He's got wonderful content already, and I know he's going to have a lot more good content coming, especially when he starts showing his knife making and that whole process. I'm super stoked to see that. I really am. So, Kalen, I'm going to give you the last word.
Well, I really appreciate it, Tom. This hour has flown by, and wish it was a little bit longer, but I understand it, and looking forward to the next time you have me on. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Just
okay.
This community.
Well, how about we just wish everybody to have a very delightful day, and we'll see them next Saturday on another Saturday chat.
I can do with that.
Does that work?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Been great chatting with you, Kalen.
Thank you, Tom. It's been a pleasure.
You bet. Take care, brother.
Thank you, you too. Bye.